Hello everybody! Today is a historic day in Purple Pitu history because we are making the first sequel video for this channel to ever exist. What's that? Silly you, those aren't real. You're hallucinating things again. Now get that thing out of my face. That's better. Anyways, for a sequel of epic proportions, there's nothing we can do but get started. Oh yeah, I am forgetting something. Look at this. Look at this, Donkey Kong. Do you notice something? You see, it's something only smart and capable artists can notice, so that clearly doesn't include me. His hands are backwards. Let's go fix that. I merged every layer on this bombastic baboon, thinking I could just reflect the hands and call it a day, but that would have made the shading look weird, so I ended up having to completely redo them. Ah, what an improvement. Oh, I forgot about you too, didn't I? As you could have guessed, I drew Link's right hand backwards as well. Instead of combining every layer here, I edited them all separately, which made things easier in some ways, but more difficult in others. There. Now all of your problems are solved. No. No! You're fine. Get out of here. Alright, now that all of my previous mistakes are fixed, it's time that we move on. We all know that Smash Bros. Has an impressive roster, so if we're going to finish this, we'd better get moving. Cue mean!
The baby.
Let's go.
As you might remember from my last video, this series began development long before it was released in late January. So, I'm glad to claim that the last remaining remnant of this 6-month-old work is the line art and coloring for Samus here. Like Link, Samus has a very detailed design, so she took also an extreme amount of time, likely even more than her predecessor. When I returned here to find the piece half finished, I was partially dismayed by the quality of the line art, as it was not only sloppy in a variety of ways and places, but it was too thin for my liking now that I've evolved as an artiste. I even know how to draw hands in the right direction now. If I remember correctly, I did some experimenting with adding a low opacity face to end up behind Samus's glowing visor, so I'll bet you're seeing that layer phasing in and out right now. Ultimately, I think that leaving it out is for the best, as the power suit's lack of human facial features adds to the cold mystique of the character, which makes her compelling and unique. Speaking of the power suit, you might notice that the design I chose is the one from Smash 4. I'm doing my best to use the Super Smash Bros. Designs of these characters, but given my track record with consistency, I can only hope that this trend continues without turbulence. Huh. Turbulence. That's kind of an odd word choice.
Turbulence.
Anyways, the colors once again sampled from the official render, and shading was done from a top left light source. Samus was a fun challenge in this respect. If you watched my last video, you'd know that shading metal, in my opinion, is as much of a fresh, simple change of pace as it is particular. Samus marks the third time on this channel that I've experimented with multiple layers of shading, making her the first in this series. Overall, I think this piece ended up pretty well for being developed across 6 months.
Question, what does she look like without the suit?
Yeah, Dark Samus, what do you look like without the suit?
Probably like, a super gnarly and disturbing alien skeleton!
The internet can never know about this.
Okay, we've had Samus, so now we just need to lower the brightness. I wish. Dark Samus is an incredibly complex character, and as such, it took me more time to draw her, or them, or it. You see, I thought I had a grasp on what exactly Dark Samus was before making this video, but seeking reference photos has changed me. I have seen things that no human should ever have to see. And don't even ask me why the bottom of their feet are completely blank, because I am not about to Google Dark Samus feet and scroll down. Brawl Fan 1 warned, and I did not heed.
I don't want to scroll too far down, because last thing I want to do is type in Shantae on Google and look up images too far down.
Nevertheless, Dark Samus is also obscure enough to the point where there weren't a surplus of angles to view the character from online either. So if I made any continuity errors in Dark Samus's design, just consider it a creative liberty made in the same way that the Smash team did, because you cannot tell me that the design in Metroid Prime is the same as an Ultimate. I may be spewing all this talk about the infected Phazon suit being visually convoluted, but it's not without its upsides. The glowing frills on most edges of the suit were a tedious dilemma, yes, but they're also super cool. They give an edge to the character, perfectly portraying them like a virus. Not dead, but not quite alive either. No clear motive, just an unpredictable biological instinct. Calculated, yet unmeditated. I did my best to capture this with the posing, but doing so was very difficult without creating a near replica of the render already available in Smash Bros. I guess that just goes to show that these guys knew what they were doing when it came to portraying demeanor. One last challenge with Dark Samus is, well, just how dark she is. Hey, whoa, that's not what I mean. You see, there's a great imbalance with the amount of light versions of a color available in hexadecimal and the amount of darker shades. Because of this, applying increasing layers of shadow to an already dark character is hard to do without making elements too dark or too light, so an extra layer of challenge is added. Dark Samus is a very complex character in all of these respects, but I think I did my best to capture its strange beauty for a whopping 7 hours. Hopefully no Phazon duplicate of myself comes hunting me down for butchering the character. Well, if it isn't everybody's favorite dinosaur, T. Yoshisaur Munchakoopas, otherwise known as Yoshi. What's that? I did this joke already. Gosh darn it, being original is difficult. Speaking of which, I worked hard at making this Yoshi feel as original as possible. One thing that always bothers me about Yoshi is that he's always portrayed as this calm, quiet, peaceful little guy, when in reality, playing as him in Super Smash Bros. Feels anything but. Because of this, I tried to give as much energy to the character as I could. I figured what I could do is give him his signature egg throw, which has always been a staple of his moveset in his home games. But I know what you're thinking. In Smash Bros, Yoshi depends not on his special attacks, but rather his normal ones, especially those in the air. So I made Yoshi throw his egg in the air, and also made the drawing some sort of a hat shot, as if Yoshi here is just so close to the stage that maybe the tiny little jump that the attack gives him will complete his recovery. Or not. Now, I had already been acting moderate with double shading up until now, but this drawing felt really bland after just one layer, so I kinda went ham here. Yeah, so much for consistency. Whatever, I'll be too lazy to keep it up soon enough. With that, Yoshi is done. Give the lad a super mushroom and a venue with Donkey Kong, and we'll have ourselves one heck of a Godzilla King Kong rematch. Hey, that reminds me of something. Remember when there was a bonus character last time? Well, since Kirby took 30 minutes, he's your bonus character. Thank you and you're welcome. Anyways, let's keep things short. Making Kirby look compelling was kind of the hardest part about drawing him. His lack of complex features surely makes for an adorable little puffball, but it also creates a lacking variety of possibilities for his small little body to pose in. Seriously, this character is so easy that the little star I put beside him took more time to draw than he did. That's not to say I don't value Kirby. He was my second ever Nintendo obsession following Mario, whom I got my Switch for. I have vivid memories of spending my entire spring break in 2022 wasting away on the couch trying to get every cent out of Kirby in the Forgotten Land. I guess that's just because HAL Laboratories never misses with Kirby. So now that the drawing is complete, I hope that I made some suitable art for gaming's most special sphere. That does it for this crew of fighters. Returning to making the actual art for this series after a nearly 6-month hiatus really hit different, and I'm glad you all stuck around for the ride. Now I waste away in the void wondering what to do next, which reminds me, I made a poll for this. Let's see how you guys responded. Wow, guys, that was really helpful. It's good to know I have such a dedicated fan base. I'm flattered. Sarcasm aside, now you guys have no idea as to what's in store for the future, so hold on to your hats and prepare for the worst. Jesus loves you, and I'll see you next time.